that money does not grow on trees. Now that's a good idea, and parents want to tell their children that because they want to teach the children that they should not simply waste money, and that is good. But there's a flip side to it. The flip side to it is the idea given to a child that it is very, very difficult to make money. Now, have you heard this before? What you believe, you become. You know, especially children. So if you grow up believing that it is very difficult to make money, wouldn't it be possible, wouldn't it be likely that when the person grow up, go out to the real world, find that very same difficulty? Now, in my case, my parents taught me that the only way for me to become successful is to work hard. I later realized that that's not always the case. In fact, it's more important to work smart. Now, why is money belief so important? Because whatever you believe is also what you do. And whatever you do gives you the results. So our money belief determines our money habits, and our money habits determine our money results. Now, if we're going to improve our results, if we're going to change our money results, we have to change our money habits. But before we can change our habits, we definitely have to change our money beliefs. So why do we have to change our money beliefs? The answer is obvious. Since our money beliefs come from our parents, we begin to realize that the world that our parents live in and the world we live in has changed tremendously. Organization that our parents used to work for and the organization that we work for today, the values are not the same. 20 years ago, when you work in a company, loyalty is a very important factor. But in organization today, loyalty is not the big issue. The issue is performance. And even though you may be loyal, but if you don't perform, you may be out of a job. So people begin to realize there is no such thing as job security anymore. Another factor is globalization. Now, what does globalization mean? It means that anything that happens thousands of miles away, any decision makes many thousands of miles away, can impact you, whether you like it or not. So our life is not entirely in our control. Something can happen, or the organization you work for, maybe a multinational company, the decision makers thousands of miles away could make decisions that could take that company out of the country, and who knows what might happen to you. So my suggestion for you is two things. Number one, you must re-educate yourself, because our past success does not guarantee our future. What you know today does not ensure that you will be able to do well in the future. So we have to re-educate ourselves. And the second thing we need to do is to go out there and get some experience. Would you agree if I say to you that people should do what they love to do? I'm sure you would agree with that. But while we say that, isn't it also true to say that actually most people never end up doing what they really want to do? Isn't that interesting? If most people know they should do what they love to do, how come they're not doing it? Well, people come back to me with all kinds of reasons. They tell me no money, no opportunity, too much obligations. But I consider this as excuses, if you ask me. Well, the reason I come across, why is it that people don't end up doing what they really want to do, is simply because whatever they are doing now is just too comfortable. It's so comfortable they don't feel the desire to get out of the comfort zone and do what really matters to them. Now let me ask you this. Is money more important or happiness more important? Now most people will tell me that happiness is more important than money. Although some people say that if you don't have money, you can't possibly be happy. Well, think about it yourself. But if you think that happiness is more important than money, then my question to you is this. What's the meaning of the word happiness? What does happiness mean to you? Let me suggest this. Happiness is when you can do what you really want to do. So, if happiness is so important to you, then you should go and do what you really want to do. Now, for a lot of people, they don't end up doing what they really want to do simply because a lot of people don't really know what they want to do. Now listen to this. Most people don't get what they want simply because they don't know what they want. But I believe that deep inside every single one of you, you do have something that you always want to do. You can call it your passion, your dream, your goal, something that is meaningful to you, something that you have always wanted to do. The question, of course, is why aren't you doing it? See, there are three kinds of situations that people can be in. Number one, they could be in a situation where they are living their dreams. which means that whatever they dreamt about, whatever they ever want to do in life, they are doing it. And why shouldn't they? After all, let me ask you this. How many lives do you have? Granted, to go and do what you really want to do in life sometimes require you to take some risks. And that's the main reason why people don't end up doing it. Because most people are not willing to take risks. Second situation are people who are chasing after the dreams. And that's good. If you are chasing after dreams, at least you know what your dreams are. If you're 20 or 30, I would certainly encourage you to chase after your dream. If you're 40 or 50, I would also encourage you to perhaps chase a bit faster. Now, most people, however, belong to the last category, which is they don't have any more dreams. So what do? They go to work, they come back, they watch TV, they have dinner, and go back to the TV again, go to sleep, next morning, go to work, come back. What do? They watch TV again. So life repeats continuously. That's what they are doing. And by the way, how come people who don't have dreams watch so much TV like you are doing now? Well, the reason is they don't have their own dreams, so they are living in other people's dreams. So my suggestion to you is live your own dreams. Why multiple sources of income? We live in a world which is fragile and tumultuous, and so anything can happen to us anytime, particularly to our income source. It doesn't matter whether we're in business or in a job. Out there in the world, anything can happen, and overnight our income source can disappear. Now what does that mean to us? It means that we cannot afford to have only one income source. It's like putting all the eggs in one basket. It's simply not prudent. We should all have, in the world we live in today, have what I call multiple sources of income. Now what does that mean? There's a lot of misconception when it comes to having multiple sources of income. Sometimes people come to me and say, well, Casey, I work 9 to 5. How am I going to have a multiple source of income? Does that mean that I have to look for another job after 5 o'clock? You see, the reason why people cannot grasp the idea of multiple source of income is most people are brought up to believe that the only way to make money is to have a job, and you can't possibly have multiple jobs. But there are actually many different kinds of income. You have investment income, you have rental income, even your hobbies can be turned into income. Creating multiple sources of income is what I call creating your money-making machine. What you need to do is to put time, put effort, and put energy to go and build a money-making machine. And all you got to do is press button, and what you hear? Right, you hear the sound of money. Now, what are some examples of money-making machines? If you have a piece of property that pays you rental periodically, that would be a money-making machine. If you have stocks and shares that pays you dividends, that's another money-making machine. If you have 6 books in a bookshop selling very well, that's another money-making machine. If you have a car park, if you own a car park, that's definitely a money-making machine. So there are many possible examples of money-making machines that we can go out there to create. My question to you is this: are you putting your time, your effort, your energy creating a money-making machine? Does most people do that? Answer: no. Most people spend their time, money and effort turning themselves into a money-making machine. Hi, my name is KCC. Welcome to another round of Money Wise. Money for most people is an emotional matter. You either hate it and find it a constant problem, or love it for all that it brings. However you feel, one thing is for sure: you cannot ignore it. Kathleen Gerner, psychologists who specialize in money matter, discover that while we have a physical self, an emotional self, and a social self, but we have a financial and money self as well. This money self is part of our behavior and our personality. Most of us fail to realize that our attitude and therefore our habits relating to money affects our financial results and affect the degree of satisfaction we get from whatever money we have. It is important to understand our relationship and our attitude towards money. Different people have different so-called money styles. Understanding our money personality types enable us to understand how they affect our financial success or lack of success. If you don't know your money weaknesses, you wouldn't know what you need to improve. If you don't know what's preventing you from getting more money, you will remain financially illiterate. If you don't know what you want from money, you will never reach your financial goals. If you aren't willing to change your money attitudes and habits, you will stay pretty much the same Financially, it is known that a lot of marriage problems arise because of money issues. It is therefore become important, if not critical, to understand the money personality types